Right guys, let's flip the screen. Oh no, it's all changed on here and I can't find it. There we go. Flip the camera and then I'm going to mirror the video. Has it done it? Oh, press that again. Right, that should be the right way around now. Hello everybody. Good afternoon. It's almost 3 o'clock. I'm going to turn the light on. This light might go off because I did charge it up. There we go, it's a bit better. Hey everybody. Happy Saturday. So I hope you're all well. Hello Brenda, hello Anne. So make sure you're following everyone so that we can all find each other. Happy Saturday. Do you know, I've got to say, I think this is my favourite cooking month because there's harvest, there's loads of spices, loads of flavour. There's just so much happening, isn't there, with food. So, and you always have a good idea of what to cook because there's just so many different recipes, isn't there, about. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's cooking today. So what am I cooking? Well, we'll just give it a minute just to let people join and then I will tell you all. But make sure you're following Brenda, Anne. They're in the chat at the minute. Darby as well. Darby is not live today, but Darby will come in. Make sure you follow her as well. And I will try to leave everyone's links in the replay video on that other place where you can watch videos back. So make sure you're following everyone on there. So you'll find them in the comments. Okay. What else we're going to say? So yeah, what am I making today? Then we're going to be making an apple crumble because I love an apple crumble. And then we're going to make a soup. Now I'm going to make my carrot and coriander soup, which I've done a video for on TikTok. But I'm going to tell you how you can change it and make the soup for if you've got any leftover pumpkins. Or I actually went to the supermarket this morning and bought a squash. And I thought, should I do it with a butternut squash? So you can do it with a butternut squash as well. So if you want to make that, you want to make a soup with it, then great. Alternatively, if you've got a load of apples, because it's the apple season, you can make a nice apple crumble. So should we get going, guys? Should we get going? Not a fan of coriander. If you don't want coriander around, I won't be using coriander, but you can use garam masala. So it's going to have a little spicy kick to it. So let's get started then. First thing I'm going to do is, if I wasn't sure when it comes to an apple crumble, whether or not to cook your apples first, because it all depends on how hot your oven is, or if you're air fry, whatever you're baking it in. So I decided to just add a little bit of water to 4 medium apples, and I sliced them into like chunks. I think it depends on how big the apples are. So what I did, I put a little bit of water in. I put a dusting of sugar on the top. I added something else. What did I add? I think I added something else in there. We'll come on to that in a bit. And then I just put it on boil for about 20 minutes. So some people cook their apples, some people don't. I cooked them, but I didn't overcook them. So they're nice and they've cooled down as well. But that's great if you're doing like an apple pie, because they recommend when you're doing your apples for apple pie is cook them off and then let them cool down. It's really important you let them cool down. Not so much with an apple crumble, but they're warm. So we'll add them in just a second. But firstly, we're going to make the crumble. So I'm just going to...
Welcome to you, Smart Kitchen
it's
Scale.
just started
Please
speaking
call
already.
Hello Air Scale to wake me up.
Yeah, I've got a new little gadget. You might have seen this before. I don't know if I showed you this before. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll definitely have seen this. So I'm going to be using my smart kitchen scales. These are brilliant. So let's get started then. So make your apples first. If you're doing apples, you could probably use rhubarb or do other foods as well. Yeah, I thought that, and I did think that. Right, so we're going to need, for the crumble mixture, you want a bowl. So we're going to pop that on there. Okay, just press... I'm going to restart this to 0. Hello, scale.
Yes, I am here.
Unit 0. Reset to 0.
Okay, reset to 0.
Change that to grams. Okay, and we want... let's find it. Peel, core and slice apples. I'm going to turn the oven on as well. You want it on 180 degrees or 190. Slice them into chunks, and then they're ready. So we're going to add in here
I will take a break.
50,
Wake me up when you need my help.
50 grams of cold butter. And it's really important that it's cold. So I got unsalted British butter. Can you see it? There we go. So 50 grams we're going to add to this. And then we're going to be mixing this in with some plain flour. So let's chop this up. I've got some limericks for you today. It's a bit of a quiz where I will give you a limerick and you have to guess what it is. So it's going to be quite an interesting live stream. So this just goes in here. That's 11, 20. You've got to use butter, I think. I was going to use margarine, and then I thought it might not work too well. So just breaking that in. 42, and then that should be 50. Almost there. Right, let's pop this in. There we go, 51. So 50 grams of butter. What's kind of, oh, the scales quite creepy. Do they ever quarter British butter for you, or don't it always come in the big chunks? I don't think I've seen them in big chunks, Brenda. Always see them in like packets. But I think if you go to like a specialist, like a factory or place where they make it on the site, then they may cut it up for you into special sizes. You know, like they used to do in the little. I'm thinking of those little parchment bags that they used to do them in. So we're going to rub butter into flour. Now there's actually two stages to this. I've accidentally gone on to the second stage. So we'll do the crumble first. So we need now some flour, and we need 75 grams. So hello scale.
Yes, I am here.
Reset to 0.
Okay, reset to 0.
So we're going to add 75 grams. Probably should have sieved this as well, but so plain flour. Now everything you see in my live today, I'm not going to link anything up. If you are in the UK, just go onto my profile.
I will take a break.
Swipe
Wake
right.
me up when you need my help.
No, don't be taking a break, 'cause I need you. So 75 grams, there we go. So yeah, anything you see, like the scales, or if I mention it's available, including the soup maker, you can just go on my page, find it on there, okay? It should be in stock. So we've added there 75 grams of plain flour and 50 grams of butter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our fingers. This is the best part. So make sure you've got clean hands. And we're just going to rub it into the flour. Oh, and I know all this technology is brilliant, but sometimes it doesn't work. And then you start having all these different commands that you have to remember. There's not too many commands, but when it doesn't work and you need it to, and it decides to switch itself off. So yeah, this is the proper way. If you've got a food processor, you can do it that way, but you can't be doing it by hands. So just rub it in. This is going to be the crumble, and then after this we're going to add some sugar. The only problem when you work with flour is that it just goes everywhere, doesn't it? So just get in there with your fingers. Now the reason I'm doing this now is because it takes at least 35 minutes for the crumble to bake. But I'm thinking you could probably add other fruits into this. So if you've not just got apples, you could probably add some berries. Pop in the comments, what do you suggest? What would you add to your crumble? But yeah, I love an apple crumble. I've not made this since last time I made it. It must have been it was over 2 years ago, because I remember Melanie this was one of her favourite desserts, and she said, oh, I'd love a crumble. So I've not made it since then. I can't believe how long ago it is. So just get in there with your hands. I think they said, well, I was watching a video about when when they were rubbing this into their flour, that it doesn't have to be like fine breadcrumbs. You want a little bit of, you know, you don't want it too lumpy, of course, but the butter will just naturally melt anyway. Oh yeah, rhubarb crumble. I think it was rhubarb I made, didn't I, last time? So mix all that in. Reminds me when I made mince pies. You remember making mince pies? I've wrote everything down, all the recipes. I've done a playlist as well on my TikTok, so you can find all the recipes there. But I've wrote them all down into my new little recipe books, so it keeps everything organised. So I've got mince pies in there, I've got pizza dough, I've got all the soup recipes that I've made. And it's just so easy to find. So just mix that in, it doesn't take too long. You can tell the difference though between butter compared to margarine. Right, almost there, guys. And then I'm just thinking what I think I'll do is I'll add the apples into the dish, and then we'll just do it in the dish, the first part, because this is going to go on the top. Rub all that butter in. Have you noticed, Anne, something else? Have you noticed something else today, Anne? I'm reading the comments. Anne always tells me off because I don't read the comments, but I can see all the comments. So almost that. You don't want to rub it in too fine, but as long as you've got that. Do you know when you put your spoon into a crumble and you get that nice crispy piece? You know what I'm talking about. That will be the lumps of the butter on the top, and some of the sugar which we're going to add in. We like when you notice. I tell you what, it's so much easier now though, that the new chat group, isn't it? So much easier. The reason I wanted to come away from X is because as soon as I go on to... Why is it when I go into X, I see a load of people I've not even followed, and it's just so negative, isn't it? All the feeds on there. I just thought, yeah, let's get it off X. The only reason we were on X is because it used to be Twitter, which was Periscope, and that's the reason why we were there. So I'm happy with that, guys. Right, just going to quick wash my hands. That's going to be the crumb. Oh, we need to add the sugar next. Quick washing my hands. There we go. So just give you a close up. There we go. Can you see that? Look at that. Right, let's add the sugar. So how much sugar do we need? We need, and I'll share this recipe as well, so if you want it, I'll share it later. You want 40 grams of, it says light brown sugar, but I don't think what I've got is light brown sugar. I think it could be light brown sugar, but it might be dark brown sugar. Hello, Airscale?
Yes, I am here.
Unit 0. Unit 0, please. Change unit to 0. I've completely forgotten these commands. Unit 0. Change to 0. Unit 0. I'll press the manual button. Is that going to work?
I will take a break. Wake me up when you need my help.
And go back. Right, let's add this in. Right, 40 grams. Where are we? Yes, I think this is light brown sugar. There we go. I bought this because I think I used it for... It was when I was making something with brown sugar. But it's fresh. So that's 20, 29, 33, 37, 40. It's like when you're filling up your car and you try to get it spot on. Right, so we're going to stir that in. We should really get this in there. So mix that into your crumble. So that is our mixture. Okay. So that's the second part. So this is now the first part. Is we're going to take the apples. I'm going to pop this straight into here. So this is the dish. I'm going to pour the apples in, like so. They're still quite warm. Look at them. They look nice. So we're doing an apple crumble, and we're going to make a carrot and coriander soup. So once you've got your apples, you could do this in a separate bowl if you wanted to, but I've just thought I'll put it straight in. We're going to add to this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar, white sugar. But I did add some sugar actually on the, so we're going to add the sugar on there, like so. We're going to next add in some cinnamon, but I've got some mixed spice. So this is from M&S mixed spice. So was it 1 teaspoon? Let me just check. Half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon. Although again, you could add the cinnamon or mixed spice whilst the apples are cooking. Now we need mixed spice for the soup, so keep that separate. And then we need some flour, which is 1 tablespoon of flour. I guess that's to absorb the 1 tablespoon. That's probably to absorb the juices, but we're just going to add that in. And then we're going to stir this up as well. Are we following, guys? Are we following? Okay, and then it says some lemon juice. I don't have lemon juice. I forgot the lemon juice. So I'm going to try something a bit different. I'm going to add a lime. We're going to add some lime juice in. Don't know if it's going to work. It might taste horrible, but it's a bit of citrus. And again, I think it's to stop the apples from discolouring. So in goes the lime juice. Plus it gives them maybe a different flavour. If you've got lemon juice, then use lemon juice. So just add that in. And then we're just going to stir this. Obviously, if you're doing it in a bowl, that's fine. And remember, these apples have already been cooked, partially cooked. So you could use like a tin of apples that you can get from a supermarket, and you could just add them straight into your bowl and add these extra flavours in. That smells amazing. Okay, so that is, I think that's it. Let me just check. Oh, there is one other thing we need to add. And it's the crumble mixture, but we've also got one other thing. So we take this crumble mixture and we're just going to pour it on the top. And that is how easy this is. Now they say don't press it down, just make sure it's nicely flat. That's what's going to give you that nice mixture. Look at that, guys. So get it all in there. Make sure it goes around the edges, just on the top. Now the last thing I'm going to add to this is some chopped oats. You could add oats or you could add some nuts. Look at that. Oh, this is going to taste so good. So I've got some oats. So I'm just going to grab a few of these. I'm just going to pop them on the top. Like that. Okay. How are we doing, guys? Are we still there? And then you could add some chopped nuts as well if you wanted to. So you could mix them oats in with the crumble mixture as well if you wanted to. So there it is. It's going to go in the oven. Okay, it's going to go in the oven now for 35 minutes. So let's get that in, and then we should be able to see that at the end. So in this goes. Perfect. Right, let's move on then. So next thing, that's the crumble, and then we can serve that later with some ice cream. There we go, you can see me now. Some ice cream or some custard or double cream. And that's going to be enough for about maybe 3-4 portions, depending on how many you're feeding. Right then, it's now time for soup. Because who loves a soup this time of year? I love a soup. So we're going to start then with 4 carrots. So we're going to peel and chop these. You want 1 onion. So we're going to take a white onion. You're going to need 1 small potato. And then what I'll do is, once all this is in, I'll tell you the recipe for the pumpkins. Okay, so if you're watching this now, it's similar ingredients, but we might swap or add a few different things around. Okay, so let me grab my peeler. Okay, how's everybody doing? If you want to get a piece of paper as well, we're going to do some trivia. So I think what we'll do is well, we could do it in the chat if you wanted to, but if you're wanting to write your answers down as well, then that's fine. So we're going to start by peeling the carrots. So 4 medium carrots. You don't have to peel them, it just depends on how good the skins are. Because when you add everything, you could do this in a pan if you wanted to as well, if you've not got a soup maker. But if you don't have a soup maker, I highly suggest getting one, because it's quite surprising how quickly they take to cook. You know, how quickly they make fresh soup. And this one today is going to only take us 21 minutes. Oh no guys, you want to come up on the screen, just with me concentrating. Send me a message, drop me a message, and then I'll read it back or read it afterwards. It's like, you know, when you play, some people play music in the background, don't they? And I can't, sometimes I can. We do it, well, we won't be able to this year because of the new copyright reasons. Oh, thank you for the autumn heart, Brenda. Make sure you're following Brenda, everybody, and let me know as well, what is your favourite soup? Because I'm looking for, I do have some soup recipe books, just I haven't. What I do is I write down the ingredients, then I go and buy them from the supermarket. So we're going to try a few different soups. But this is a soup recipe that's just, it's just so easy to make, and it's just so tasty. Right, let's get rid of these. Then we'll peel the potato. Right, 1 second. Try not to make a mess. No, these weren't from my garden, unfortunately. These were from my fridge. No, they're from the supermarket. Right, let's chop this up. So chop all your vegetables, and also another reason for doing this recipe was because if I was doing squash, it takes me forever to cut it all up, peel all the seeds, then chop it all up. So it's just a quicker soup recipe. Right, let's use this knife. So chop the ends off. I'll do this one. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to chop these into circles, even though the soup maker will blend everything up. So we're going to add these to the soup maker. It's just here. This is my soup maker. So by Tower. So get them in your soup maker. Like so. So I think next month's Cooking Saturday is going to be on the 22nd. Oh, no worries, Anne. So it's going to be on the 22nd. just get everything in. Right, one more carrot to do. I think it was, yeah, four carrots. Whoops. Why do I always drop something on the floor? Don't know why it always happens to me. Ugh. Right, next then we're going to peel a potato. So you just want one small potato. If you've got a large potato, it's probably, you only probably want half. So peel that. Smell that crumble already. Need to keep, I think, yes, it should be done by about 10 to the hour, the crumble. I've also got some custard as well, so I think I'll have the custard later, but Darby did a really good custard, fresh custard recipe, which you could follow if you wanted to do that. Okay, so with your potato, you just want to make sure everything's cut fine. I usually use a vegetable chopper. You've run away veggies like me. Yeah, they just roll off, don't they? They'll roll off your chopping board. I need something like that's going to stop them from falling off. I don't know if you all saw my video that I posted just before I came live. So I had a delivery of some fudge, and it's a special Halloween box where you can actually you select which ones you want. And then I went for the cookies and scream. So I got a piece of cookies and scream. I got a millionaire one and a birthday one. It's not my birthday. It's just, but you select which ones you want. So again, if you love fudge, go and check that video out after this live stream, and you'll see them. In fact, I can show you in a minute actually. So chop your potatoes up. I'm going to do the same for the onions. The only reason I'm cutting this up because I'm just trying to use up some of the time, because it's only going to take 20 minutes for this soup. So I could even, I've got like 10 minutes before I need to have this ready and switched on. Now I did think it was a bit strange adding potato to a soup at the when I first started using it, but it does thicken the soup up a little bit. I think it'd be too watery if it wasn't. Yeah, cookies and scream. I'll show you them in a minute. It's that time of year, isn't it? I love Halloween. I used to organise my own Halloween party, because when I used to teach dance when I was 18, well, we'd have a Halloween party each year, and we'd give like awards for the best fancy dress. I won the best fancy dress once back in, I think it was 2010, and then I remember going to this promotion. I was doing some promotional work for a nightclub in Leeds. It's called Halo. I don't know if you remember. Anyone from Leeds remembers Halo? Gemma will. And it's an old church that they turned into a nightclub. I actually don't know what it is now. And I remember going to have the makeup done, and then they were doing this video for it, and it was like, it was quite funny actually. Right, so add these potatoes in to your soup maker, so they're nicely finely chopped. So but yeah, I do miss like having dressing up and going to a Halloween party. I I may have to go next year. Get dressed up. Right, so onion time. We're going to chop the onion in half, and then again cut these into fine strips. You could even add some celery into this if you wanted to. I wouldn't add too much. You've got to remember, even with a soup maker, that you have a minimum and a max line. So if you go over that, you might not think you've gone over it, but once the veg starts cooking, it releases liquid, which will then lift the, which is why I always take the water, which you'll see in a second, to the minimum line and not the maximum line, because you don't want the machine to go off because you've overfilled it. So, and that happened to me when I made that vegetable soup that time. Do you remember that leek vegetable soup? don't go watch that video, because it was tasty, but it was quite a thick soup, and that was like the early days of using this machine. Right, so I'm going to peel this off. So we're just going to chop these up now as well. Now, Anne does it a special way, don't you? Do you slice it down first and then go down the edges? I'm terrible when it comes to cutting like that. There we go, actually that's not too bad. It's going to get blended up anyway. So add that in. What did he practice, Anne? Yeah, I need to see that as well. So peel that. Oops. Oh, line dancing, yes, yeah. That's what I used to do many years ago. I'm well known in the line dancing world. It's sad though, I was reading the other day, it was in fact yesterday, I didn't know that the guy who was in the group The Grid, who wrote a song called Swamp Thing, you'll know it across the pond, but I didn't know he was actually English, and I didn't know he was part of Soft Cell, but he passed away yesterday. So you'll know the song Swamp Thing, because it was huge in the 90s, and I posted it on my Facebook as well. But that was always one of my first ever dances I learnt. And if you go online, you'll see the dance of Swamp Thing on there. But yeah, it's sad he passed away. So I always class it as two things though, because you've got the line dancing, which is the country western line dancing, and then as you come into the millennium, you've got more of the pop, the new country music stuff, and then the other pop stuff, the things that make you want to dance. So it's kind of a mixture of all different genres now. But yeah, it's been a few years since I stopped dancing, and I should really get back into it again and then post some videos for you. You used to line dance, Brenda, as well? Yeah, mainly country. I love the country stuff, but I also love the new stuff as well. So right, so that is the mixture. So we've got onions, carrots and potato. So in here then we're gonna add I should know this recipe off by heart. So we're gonna add some mixed herbs. So I've got to put mixed herbs out of here, so, and then I'll show you the fudge in a second as well. So just got some mixed herbs. So let's lift this up. So if you were doing this in a pan, obviously let it boil and then you'll just blend it up. So we're going to add some mixed herbs, pop them in. We're going to add in some sweet paprika, or if you've got it already, you can just add 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. I always say add more spices to your soups, because otherwise they can be really bland. Okay, hello Airscale.
Yes, I am here.
Turn off, please.
Okay, turning off. Have a nice day.
Oh, thank you. She tells me nice. She treats me very, very nicely, does the kitchen Airscale. Right, so we've added that in. Now, next we're going to add in some garam masala. So garam masala actually has coriander in it. So you don't need to add extra coriander if you don't have it. Just looking at the time. So we're just going to add 1 teaspoon of garam masala. This one's from Zouk, which is actually Manchester, a Manchester-based restaurant, Indian restaurant. And next time in Manchester, we're going to go to Zouk. I'm going to find it and go and test out one of their curries. So, don't think they're on TikTok Shop anymore. I couldn't find them. So we've added the mixed spice. We're going to add some salt. Does need filling up? I think it does. So, add a little bit of salt. This is the Celtic sea salt. And then we're going to add in, oh, it says garlic. I can't remember adding garlic in last time. I don't think I've got any garlic. I'm going to try it without garlic because I know not everybody likes garlic, so we won't add garlic in. Don't say garlic to Brenda because Brenda loves garlic. So yeah, we're not going to add garlic because it's Halloween next week, Brenda. We don't want to be adding in garlic. But then again, it will keep the vampires away. And then we're going to add in a vegetable stock cube. Now, in previous videos, I've added a mix of chicken stock cube and vegetable vegetable stock cube and chicken stock cube. So you could add in both. It's just fallen away. So get that in. You could add that into the water first if you wanted to, hot water. But I'm going to be adding cold water to this. And then what I'll do is I'll tell you the recipe if you've got pumpkin. And then the water, we're going to add 700. I just realised something. I'm looking at the wrong recipe. I've been looking at the wrong recipe, but it's very similar, which is what I said. So I wonder why I needed to add some mixed herbs. So the recipe for the carrot, same one, 4 carrots, 1 small potato, 1 brown onion, ground coriander or garam masala, salt and pepper, mixed spice, no garlic, a vegetable stock cube and 750 ml of water. So add that in. It should go to the minimum line. And then we pop on the lid. And then I'll just pop this to one side, turn this on. Never, 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 ever have a blender plugged in at the mains when you're adding the ingredients. Only once you put the lid on the top do you ever put the power on. Okay. So I'm going to just turn this round, make sure everything's plugged in. And then what I'm going to do, you should be able to see that in the background. No. And then press on, or press mode. I'm going to go to smooth and press on. So this will be smooth soup, 21 minutes. It's going to heat, boil, blend, do everything within 21 minutes. So now it's time for our trivia. Are we ready, guys? Are we ready for some trivia? I'll just tidy up a little bit. If you want to grab yourself a pen and paper, that's fine as well. I think we'll do it 5 questions and then we'll do another 5 questions, but I'll give you the answers after 5. So we'll find out after 5 questions. You want to see this fudge, don't you? Let me just show you this fudge. If you've not seen the video, you'll probably see that. So soup machine's going. This is the fudge. Are you ready for this? Don't know why it's wet on the top. Oh no, it's a bit of donut that I had. Ask about the donuts. So this was the first piece. This was what I cut off on the video. You can find this in my shop. Look at this. The finest fudge company This is the Scream, Cookies and Scream. So it's in the shape of a ghost. They're really heavy, but it's fresh fudge. Look at that. Really nice, really creamy. Okay, I'll just show you the other one. So this one's the Millionaire. It's so nice. So that's the Millionaire one. And then if it's your birthday, or you know someone's birthday is coming up, you could choose this one. So it's not an advertisement, I just wanted to show you because we're on a food live today. That's the Millionaire, that's the birthday cake one. Birthday cake fudge. Some comments in the live were filtered to protect this experience. There you go. So that's the birthday one. So yeah, I will I'm gonna have to eat these. Terrible. So they're the Halloween ones. So I think they're about £4 each, which is crazy, isn't it? Crazy prices. So right, let's do this quiz then. So what I've done is I've put limericks together, and you have to guess what each one is. Okay, so you can pop them in the chat if you want to. But I'll only do 5 and then I'll give you the answers. So here's number 1. And they're all to do with autumn. So best of luck everyone, here we go. A drink that's all creamy and spiced. In autumn it's warmly enticed. With cinnamon twirls and whipped cream that swirls. What latte has everyone priced? Have you got it? So you can put it in the chat if you want to. If you don't want to see any answers, don't look in the chat. A drink that's all creamy and spiced. In autumn it's warmly enticed. With cinnamon twirls and whipped cream that swirls. What latte has everyone priced? Any guesses? So I can see your answers in the on the screen. We'll find out in just a, we'll find out after question 5. Okay. So just give you 30 seconds on each one. Okay. Now we're ready for number 2. Number 2. They're carved with a flickering grin. A candle is placed deep within. On Halloween night, they glow with delight. What veg lights the darkness again? Ooh. Hey Helen. That's my cousin Helen. Brenda and Anne. Give Helen a follow. So I'll repeat it again. They're carved with a flickering grin. A candle is placed deep within. On Halloween night, they glow with delight. What veg lights the darkness again? Ooh. Should have brought my little pumpkin out, shouldn't I? Oh! Might have just given the answer away there. Okay, number 3. They shimmer in colours so bright. Gold, amber and copper in light. They fall to the ground and they crunch with a sound. What paints autumn days with delight? So they shimmer in colours so bright. Gold, amber and copper in light. They fall to the ground and crunch with a sound. What paints autumn days with delight? So that's your third one. So we'll do 2 more, I'll give you the answers. And then we'll do another set of 5. Just going to check on this crumble. Ooh. Let's get in there. It smells nice. Okay, number 4. Oh, and I've got an announcement to make as well. I'll say in a second. Brenda knows what I'm talking about. He's spooky and floats in the air. He'll vanish if you start to scare. He moans in the night, gives children a fright. What spectre might chill you with glare? He's spooky and floats in the air. He'll vanish if you start to stare. He moans in the night, gives children a fright. What spectre might chill you with glare? Okay, and number 5. It's sweet, it's a seasonal treat. You roast it or mash when you eat. In pies it can go, with marshmallows, you know. What tuber can't autumn defeat? These are really good, aren't they? I'll be honest, I didn't read them before I looked at them. So again, it's sweet, it's a seasonal treat. You roast it or mash when you eat. In pies it can go, with marshmallows, you know. What tuber can't autumn defeat? Right then, let's go through the answers. So number 1 was a pumpkin spice latte. Number 2, I kind of gave the answer away with this one, but there's another name actually, but none of you said it. Well, I'll give you the point. It was a pumpkin, also known as a jack-o'-lantern. Is it lagging? And is everybody else okay? Let me know if everybody's okay. Good. Okay. So the second one. So first was pumpkin spice latte. Number 2 was jack-o'-lantern, also known as a pumpkin. Now this soup machine is going to make a noise in a minute, so hopefully we'll get through these quickly. Number 3 was autumn leaves. Number 4 was a ghost. And number 5 was a sweet potato. Well done, everyone. Right, should we do a few more? You want a few more? Let's do a few more. I'm just looking at the time, so we're good. 5 minutes. This is going to take 13 minutes, the soup. So what I will do, yeah, we'll literally be on the hour when we pour this. So we'll do the bread and butter to go with it. Okay, number 6. You know it's on the doors with delight, and dress up to scare in the night. You say a short phrase, and candy's your praise. What's shouted on Halloween night? You knock on the doors with delight, and dress up to scare in the night. You say a short phrase, and candy's your praise. What is shouted on Halloween night? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Sharon. Which brand was it? Do you... Which one? So we're down to 11 minutes on the soup maker, so it should start to blend in a minute. Was it the same one? All I can say, if you did get one, then obviously there's an issue. Always go to the supplier, and they, will sort it for you if you've got an issue. But always check everything when you buy something. I'm not saying you didn't, but if something like that happens. Anyway, right, next question. So I'll come back to the answers in a minute. You should know this one. I'm spiced and I'm baked in a crust, with apples, a classic you trust. A scoop on the side makes taste buds collide. What dessert is a must if you must? Thanks, Sharon, for the information. I will do some further research. There we go, so it's blinked. That made me jump. Okay, next one then. A pastry so warm, crisp and sweet, with apples and crumble complete. You will eat it with cream, a British dream. What pudding's a classic fall treat? Okay, Anne, no worries. We've only got 2 more left, and then we'll go through the answers. So that was number 8. Okay, number 9. They're witches and goblins and more. They cackle, they fly, and they soar. On Halloween Eve, they make you believe. What night do we all adore? Okay. It's getting really warm in this kitchen now because I've stood over the oven. Okay, and your last one, then we'll go through the answers. It's golden, crunchy and hot. With butter, it is served in a pot. You'll munch at the fair with crisp autumn for air. What snack have I cleverly got? Excuse me. So any guesses? We'll go through the answers in just a minute. Just gonna let's get this bread. Well, get ready for the soup. I'm gonna use my pumpkin dish to pour the soup in. This is my pumpkin dish. Oops. So it'll go straight in there, and then we'll do some bread and butter. So does anybody want any of the questions repeating again, 5 from 5 to 10, before I give you the answers? This is the bread roll that I got. So I got this from the supermarket. So we're just going to cut a few slices off this. Let me just move this a second. So we're going to cut this, and then I'll reveal the answers. Then the crumble should be ready, and then we'll test the soup. So I think I'll go this way. You've got to have fresh bread with number 3. Okay, I'll do number 3 in just a second, Brenda. I'm going to cut that in half. Look at that. Beautiful. So we've got 7 minutes left on the soup maker. Okay, let me just butter this bread and then do that. So Brenda, tell us what you're cooking. Well, Anne's going to be up next, but then Brenda afterwards. So make sure you're following everybody so you can watch. I'm just going to cut this in half. This is margarine, sorry, not butter. Put that on a plate. I wish you could smell this soup because it smells amazing. So that is my bread to go with the soup, like that. So, oh, Brenda's making an American goulash. I love the name of it. Love the name of it. Right, just tidying up as I go along, guys. 1 second. Right, let's go through these questions and then we should be ready. Crumble will be I'll take that out in just a second. We're up to 5 to 4. So number 3, I'll give you 30 seconds on this one. Oh, we did number 3, didn't we? Do you mean number 8? I remember doing number 6, 7, 8. Because it's very similar to number 7. So number 8 was a pastry so warm, crisp and sweet, with apples and crumble complete. You'll eat it with cream, a British dream. What pudding's a classic fall treat? Oh, gaulish. Gaulish, not gaulish. Okay, I'm going to go through the answers. Okay, so number 6 was trick or treat. Number 7 was apple pie. Number 8, apple crumble. Number 9, Halloween night. And number 10, you got it, popcorn. So there you go, guys. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Let's have a look at the crumble. Smells nice. Oh, actually, that is the crumble. Look at that. I'm going to turn the oven off. And what I'm going to do is just get a spoon and just show you. It's very, very hot. Oh. Are you ready for the crumble? I'm going to try and lift this up. That's what I have got. I've got my gloves. I used these the other day. With the oats, they've just like look at this. You ready? Oh, it smells so good. So with that, oh, look at that. So that is going to be perfect with some cream or custard. Obviously the apples were already cooked slightly beforehand, but just look at that. Apple crumble. What would you add to that on the top? Let me know in the comments. That just looks so good. Yeah, with custard, yummy. It's going to be too hot to eat at the minute, so, but that's what it looks like. It smells incredible. Oh my gosh, that's good. Oh, that is really good. Very nice. I'm going to pop that back in the oven. When I'm ready to serve it, I'll take a photo and put it on our group. So, easy apple crumble. And then I'm just ready to pour in the soup, and then we'll be done. So, literally less than 2 minutes and then we'll be finished. I would say that is good timing. What do you think? Okay, Anne, see you. Make sure you follow Anne, everyone, because that's where we're going to be next. I'm going to keep the mixed herbs out because we're going to put a few mixed herbs on the top. And then whilst Anne's live, I'll be eating my soup. So if you want to buy this tower soup maker, go into my profile, swipe right and just type in soup maker and it will be there, and you could be making this soup yourself within 21 minutes. It also does chunky soup. You can use it as a juicer, so make juices, like put some oranges in there, water, and make like an orange juice, or other drinks, apple juice. And then it also blends as well, so you could make smoothies in this. So we're almost there. It'll beep to let you know it's done. Just look at the colour on that one. There we go, all done. just lift it off, and then I always turn it off at the mains, unplug it. Just be very careful because it's very hot. I'm going to give it a quick stir and then we'll pour it, and then we'll all go across to Anne. So how easy was that? There's the soup. So say it's Christmas Day or you've got family and friends round, you just take the jug off and then pour it into your cup. Look at that. There's loads in there. This pumpkin dish is available as well. So I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of mixed herbs on the top. And there we go. You could add mixed spice as well on there. That is my carrot and coriander soup. Oh, if you want to do it with the pumpkin, very, very, very quickly for those, you just basically swap. You just use 1 carrot instead of 4. Use a brown onion. Use your pumpkin, 1 squash or a pumpkin, mixed herbs, sweet paprika, garam masala, some mixed spice, if you want to add that, salt, 1 veg stock cube, garlic, and use more water, but try to stick to your minimum line because it will release water, as I say, in the machine. So there we go. Thanks for joining, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one, 22nd of November, for the next Cooking Saturday But go and join Anne, who's going to be live right now. So, see you soon, guys. Bye for now.